Good morning and welcome to ComSpark 2019. I'd like to introduce my co-host Ben Beshear from Beshear Financial. And our guest today is Ervan Rodgers II. Ervan is the CIO of the state of Ohio. And Ervan, we're here today to talk about careers, not too much to talk about technology. CIOs have a challenge today maintaining that career path and keep building on the successes that have brought them to the positions that they're in. The first question I'd like to ask you is if you can tell us some of the career challenges that you're facing right now in your position.
You know, being the state CIO, it comes with a lot of demand, a lot of time management, balancing. When you think of technology, you know that's really a mind-boggling from a state of Ohio perspective, especially with the new take that we're taking on technology. This governor, Governor DeWine, and Lieutenant Governor Husted are keen on IT, and it makes my job that much more simplistic in nature, because ultimately when you have that kind of support at the top of the house, you can really do some amazing things. And so we're really taking an innovative look at technology and the way that it impacts citizens. So we're putting that taking a citizen focused with applications that we're developing, apps, services, etc. So the challenge for me has been, trying to go home at the end of the day because I'm so excited and I love this job. I've been at it for the last 9 months, and I get that call at nighttime. Are you coming home? It's fun when you forget that you're actually working when you're actually having fun.
And what do you see as the big differences between a CIO role in the private space, in the private sector, and the CIO role in the public sector like you're in now?
So I started my career as a help desk agent, actually. So very beginning, I took that call that was along the lines of, hey, my coffee cup's not working. And it ended up being the CD-ROM drive going back and forth, right? So then I progressed into, being a consultant, traveling worldwide, traveling such countries as India, Hong Kong, Germany, and now that I'm here with the state, I've been with the state for the last 5 years. I was the CIO at the Attorney General's office for 4 with the then Attorney General, Mike DeWine, and they asked me to come over to this particular spot. So the way I would answer that question is that really the work is the same. However, the level of the number of folks that are needed to be engaged, different factors, especially from a citizen standpoint, when you're the financially responsible for taxpayer dollars, you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to serve and service those citizens. And so, at the end of the day, from a public perspective, I know exactly what I've done, and I can see the difference take place on a daily basis. Whereas, in private, it's along the lines of I'm working for, say, the shareholder. I'm trying to turn a profit, etc. So, similar work, just 2 different missions.
Ervan, one of the challenges for CIO these days is communicating. You communicate to such a broad range of people and constituents. How do you step out of the role of technologist and avoid being pigeonholed and communicate with your peers and with the other people that you deal with?
Some might say that I'm an extrovert. I have no problem going into an empty room or a full room, and by the time I'm done, I know probably more than half of those folks with authentic relationships. So I think it's a unique aspect. I have always had the ability to interact and talk with folks. And so I'm using that same skill set in order to interact with my constituents, the directors, that of those that we're serving. So.
And how do you when you're talking to non-technology people, how do you decide how much detail, how little detail? How do you communicate to people that might not actually know what the technology is and do it effectively?
There's an art to it, and I learned that as a consultant when I was working with Accenture. To be able to translate that message all the way from down here to the top of the house. I mean, it's the same thing at going home for family vacations or for family, Christmas time. It's along the lines of talking to my grandfather who's trying to get his cell phone to work, down to the toddler who has an iPad that's teaching me things. So it's along the lines of being versatile and being transparent.
Ervan, can you tell us about a mentor or somebody that you've worked with in the past who's had a particular influence on your career?
Oh, certainly. I have so many of them. I think every successful career, you have to have that. And so one of the folks would be along the lines of Donna James. She's a phenomenal lady. She has poured into my career. David White, Florence Latham. I mean, there's so many that, I would be remiss if I can continue to name names. So I'm just going to say A through Z, because there's so many different people that you can pick up different things from. You can always learn something from someone.
Is there anyone else mentor-wise that comes to mind as you're speaking about your mentors?
My father. My father has been a very tremendous figure in my life, along with my grandfather and my mother. So I have to give props where props are due.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you for watching this ComSpark 2019. To get more information, you can go to ComSpark.tech. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ervan.
Appreciate it.